Folks, now moving right along, joining me is Carl Szabo, Vice President, General Counsel of NetChoice, Professor of Internet Law at George Mason University's Scalia Law School. So welcome back, Charles. All right, let me get this right. Now, you have been a critic, Carl, of the Federal Trade Commission and the Justice Department because of their nutty antitrust policies. Big is bad, success is bad, and consumer harm or consumer choice or consumer welfare doesn't matter. But you're going to give us now, I'm reading your notes, you're saying there's a new episode here. It's bad enough they want to stop business here, but now they're in cahoots with all the left-wingers in Europe. Okay, so the deep state is now extending from Washington, D.C. swamp to the European swamp in stopping business. Is that true, really?
I know, it's unbelievable what's going on right now. We have our own government, the heads of some of the biggest agencies in the country, colluding with European law administrators and European bureaucrats to undermine American businesses. I mean, we had a declaration that we signed a couple hundred years ago so that we didn't have to do what Europe says. But now, because of the Freedom of Information Act, the work by the U.S. Chamber, we have discovered that the heads of the Federal Trade Commission are actually colluding with European officials so that laws in the U.S. that aren't being violated, they're going to work with the Europeans to make sure that these American businesses are undermined and taken down in ways that leave a vacuum for the Europeans to rise. They want to make us more like them, and they have a failing, flailing European marketplace, and that's just unbelievable what's going on by the Biden administration to attack American businesses.
You know, it's interesting. This case, Illumina and Grail, correct me if I'm wrong, Carl. Grail is a very valuable cancer research operation, and Illumina wants to buy them. The FTC fought them, and the FTC went to Europe to get help on that, even though they didn't do any business in Europe at all. I mean, why would anybody in their right mind, why would even a good card-carrying lefty like Lina Khan in the Federal Trade, why would she want to stop cancer research or cancer solutions? I don't understand that, Carl.
Because it's as you've been discussing with Steve. Look, success is sinful to a lot of the lefties like Lina Khan. Let's remember where she came from. She, as Steve Moore actually points out, she has no experience in the business world. She wrote a law review paper about how Amazon's prices are too low,
yes,
and that is somehow bad. They vehemently believe that American businesses are bad, that they shouldn't exist. And it's not just happening with Illumina and Grail on cancer medication. They are trying to block mergers of Kroger to lower goods at the aisles of the shoppers. They are working to block mergers of Lockheed Martin to actually develop and build the weapons that are being used in the war in Ukraine, because they just think that Americans are inherently sinful. It's kind of the beatings will continue until morale improves type attitude.
Well, I guess the swamp spreads. That's all there is to it. Carl Szabo, we appreciate the update. Please come back with something more optimistic, Carl. You know what I mean? We're an optimistic crowd here. Coming up next on Kudlow is Optimistic Crowd. The House Republicans on the Ways and Means Committee, these are the tax writers. Well, they're going to go down to Oklahoma, I think it is, to cut taxes.